What's up, everyone? It's Rayuka here, and today I'll be giving my impressions and thoughts of the Nioh Beta. So now that that's said, so I completed the Nioh Beta a while ago, and obviously, from my experience completing this beta, I had mixed feelings. I really do have mixed feelings for Nioh. I played the alpha, and when you beat the alpha, you get a obviously to give you some free DLC after you beat the first boss anyway, not the second. In the beta, though, you get two free DLCs, but the first one I don't count because I already got that one from the alpha. But you get a second one after completing the other bosses. But see, to me, the DLC isn't enough to sell me on Nioh because I'm going to get to why I have mixed feelings about this beta right now. So I'm gonna get to the noticeable things that I felt with the beta, and that is the controls felt a lot more solid, and that the camera didn't feel like it was gonna run off into its own direction. Where in the alpha, when you ran with William, the camera just felt like it was going way ahead of you. Well, now it doesn't feel like that, and I felt like that was a noticeable improvement, but a very tiny one that probably is easily missable in my opinion. And another noticeable thing is the locking system in Nioh. Well, at least in the beta anyway, it was a big improvement over the alpha, but it's yet again one of those tiny things that will easily be messed up on. I mean, when you lock on an enemy, now the hits will actually hit that enemy and not wander off elsewhere. So that's me simplifying the whole thing, but some will call it hard locks and soft locks, however you want to call it. But yeah, it's one of the noticeable things that I noticed in the beta compared to the alpha. And another big improvement in the beta was that they got rid of the weapon durability meter. To me, this is one of the biggest things to happen because in the alpha, when you lost your sword or axe or staff, that was it. You gotta wish yourself luck in finding a better drop after that. But in the beta, that wasn't worry at all. You can have the sword or staff or axe, whichever weapon you prefer to use, and just pretty much fix it or repair from time to time, but you'll still have that weapon. You won't have to worry about losing it. And then you could grind the same area for better weapons if you feel like that's the area you want to grind it in anyway, in the depending what level you were in. And another noticeable thing in the beta was that they added Dojo, a training dojo that is. Basically, it teaches you the basics of the game, the stances of William, and things that are essential to know to surviving in Nioh. So if you jump straight into Nioh and you don't know the basics, you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to get through. But if you do the training, it gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect and get you ready as a player for getting into the official game and going through all the chaos, pretty much. And another noticeable thing is how I felt like the enemies were dumbed down. Now, this doesn't apply to all the enemies in the beta. The regular enemies, such as the regular guys that come at you with the swords or the demons that chase after you, I mean, they didn't feel as aggressive as they did in the alpha. In the alpha, they were aggressive. Here, and it didn't really feel like that. But obviously, when I'm calling the sub bosses, the demons or yokais came in, that was a different story. They still were as tough, if not tougher, sometimes than the alpha. But in the beta, when it came to the bosses and what I'm calling sub bosses, they still felt as difficult. But when it came to the regular enemies, they didn't feel that difficult. So it's kind of a backwards, forwards situation going on there, in my opinion. But that's how I felt anyway while playing through the beta and completing it. And there's another noticeable thing, and that is the enemies. Well, at least to me, there's well, depending on the enemies crossed by. Like when you cross by the regular enemies, the ones that you encounter first off, they don't feel that difficult like they did in the alpha. That's a good thing. But when you go up against the yokai or the bosses, which no matter what all the demons in Nioh or yokais or demons, whatever you want to categorize them as, but when you go up against the bigger enemies, they definitely feel a lot more difficult than they should, and it seems like a back and forth as you go through Nioh. But when you go through the boss fights, it's just a whole different story within itself, depending on the person's experience and how they're gonna progress through that boss fight. But besides that, Nioh has a few good things going on with this stuff. I mean, the graphics are nice; they got that down. Still needs improvements in many areas. But this is a beta. I mean, compared to the alpha and beta, the beta has improved on things, and then there are just some things that I feel that it needs improvement on, such as the magic. I feel like the magic just doesn't feel dramatic enough. And when I say magic, I'm referring to when William summons up his little yokai demon spirit, whatever it's the dog in this case or the shark, each one stands for an element like fire, water, earth. So, I mean, they could do better with the dramaticness of that and how it affects the character himself. But besides going into the sword and becoming one with the sword, it just, I just feel like it's just not enough. And then another noticeable thing I noticed in the beta, it's harder to get items such as health items. In the alpha, it was so easy. It felt like it was really easy actually to get health items. You get stuff to get rid of, and then bam, you got health items for like days. In the beta, it seems like it's very less of that and more difficult to get health items. So they could adjust that a bit because Nioh is not an easy game to progress through. And though I beat the beta a while ago, and when I think back on it, the story just didn't really pull me in. That's another thing. Though the game looks beautiful, I mean, the beta looks good, but it's like I still can't feel for the character. That's my. I mean, maybe it's just me, but William as a character is like, like why should I care? And that's the thing when I play a game, anyway, especially one that's supposed to be story driven. Yeah, I think the goal is you trying to get the player to relate to that character in some way. Have some sort of connection there. And I felt like with William, there's just none. He's just some guy on an island trying to kill yokai and I guess protect a village that's already destroyed and go through Japan fighting all these things and trying to get rid of it, these yokais and demons and whatnot. But my point is that I feel like at least the bit of story that they gave you in the beta wasn't enough. I felt like I still didn't care for the character himself. So I don't know what they're going to do to change that or turn that around, but I just didn't really care for the characters. The game looks good. I mean, excuse me, the beta looks good, but it's just not enough for me. It's just like, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What I have to say about Nioh. Um, I just feel like it needs improvements in a lot of areas. Story, mechanics. I would have wished it would have kept more away from the Souls games in the sense of how the game feels when you play it. But instead, it seems like they decided to just make it similar to Souls, but different at the same time. And I just think, me personally, I think that was just a bad move. Some may disagree and say, no, it's great. Let's have Samurai Souls. We already have Dark Souls, and we have Bloodborne. We have one Demon Souls. Let's just have a Samurai Souls. It's made by a different company. Let's have it. To me, I think Nioh is it has an identity crisis. That's what I think Nioh has. I feel that it could probably be a hack and slash, which sort of is, but it isn't because it feels like a Souls game. And when I look back at old trailers of Nioh and look at it now, it definitely looked like it was something else before becoming what I played. So definitely different. But yeah, those are my opinions and my thoughts of the beta and me. So yeah, that's pretty much all I could think of at this point. Hopefully, whenever the game officially releases, it has maybe a ton more improvements or a complete overhaul, which I totally doubt. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. Did you enjoy the beta? Do you love it and think that it was perfect and wonderful, or do you have differences with it? Feel free to comment down below and express what you think. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. And if you like what I said here, or just like what you've seen here, drop a like on the video. That's also appreciated as well. Anyways, as always, this is Rayuka here saying thanks for watching. And until next time, everyone, sayonara.